now. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome. Happy New Year to you. It is another official 2023 Massive Action Monday is in full effect. My name is Chris Williams. I am your host here on the Grow Your Side Business podcast. Now listen, if this is your first time ever attending like live Massive Action Monday, just put it down in the chat. Let me know that this is your first time, and I want to give you a proper introduction. Number two, what are your goals this year for 2023? What are you trying to achieve? All right. My name is Chris Williams. As I mentioned, I am your host of the Grow Your Side Business podcast. My job is really simple. I just help you grow a profitable side business. If you're an ambitious employee and you're trying to figure out how do I get my side business to grow, well, guess what? You have found the right place. I'm going to give you tips, tricks, strategies. I also have a couple of things available for you that are going to be awesome in this incoming year. Number one, we got the side business vault that's coming out. You can go to the link in the description. You can get early access to that. We've got the Side Hustle Secrets course that's available. We got a ton of stuff. But today, what I want to start with is talk about how in the world do we build our business from the inside out, okay? What do you mean by the inside out? Well, what I mean from the inside out is some of us are trying to build outside in. We want to show off people that we have a business, but we haven't built this. We haven't built this, right? We haven't built our heart, our mind. We haven't built the things that are necessary. So I'm going to actually show you 5 things that are really important for you to know, like really important things. I'm talking about these 5 things are just as important as probably anything else that you learn as you are building your side business, okay? And so these 5 things are going to really help you today really build. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm like really pumped about this year because there's so many things that I'm looking forward to being able to show you. And we're just going to start today right off the bat. 5 habits of successful side business owners. Okay? 5 really important habits. And to get started, one of the things that we're going to do for those of you who are on Instagram, thank you guys for tuning in. The full conversation you're going to be able to find right over on YouTube. You can go to our Side Business Builders group, wherever you like to pay attention to. So I want to show you guys what real power is, okay? This won't take long, but I want to show you guys what I mean by like, what are those habits of really successful people when it comes to building their side business? Because it's not just like, oh, I found something that works. And it's not just, oh, I work 30 hours, a day. It's not that stuff. But I'm going to show you 5 different things that are really important. And in order to be able to show you those 5 things, we got to talk about where the real power is. Because I personally have found that I put my real power in things that weren't actually anything that I could control or do anything about, right? So I want to show you where your real power is. And to be able to show you that, I got to show you this really interesting perspective about your body and how you can really maximize this year, okay? So here's the thing that you got to understand. Every single thing that was ever created on the planet came from first a thought. And somebody treated that thought like getting a new plant. They nurtured it enough until, guess what? It was able to grow. There's a great quote that I love that says, your body hears everything that your mind says. And it's so true. Our lives is a result of what we have going on in our head. And our real power is in our thought life. And we've got to gain control of that and stop all this wayward thinking. I'm telling you right now, if you were a car, the gasoline is the thoughts. 93 octane, diesel fuel, whatever you use, electric car battery. I'm telling you right now, the power is in your thought life. So I want to kind of walk you through something that I have understood more and more that I study human behavior, that I study psychology, that I've just learned more about myself because I'm living every day. I realize some things that I am in 100% control of. And then I'm going to show you why this is important and how those 5 things can actually help you build a successful side business this year. I'm not talking about 10 years from now. I'm talking about literally this year. You master this, you can control where your future earnings lie outside of your day job. All right. So here's the kicker. Number 1, we have our brain. Okay. Now, one of the most interesting things about our brain is our brain is a series of it's a full of series of repetitive things that keep happening over and over and over and over and over again. That's what your brain is. It's not something the cerebral cortex, the things that keep happening over and over and over again are what make your body work, right? If your heart didn't keep beating over and over and over again, it wouldn't pump blood. If the blood didn't keep pumping, it wouldn't flow throughout the body. If it didn't flow throughout the body, you probably wouldn't feel anything. If you didn't feel anything, you wouldn't have nerves. My whole point is that everything is a series of cycles and repetitive systems that keep going on, right? Some of those repetitive systems in your brain are things that you can actually get a hold of. But some of us don't understand where most of those repetitive thought life things come from. Well, if you have something that enters your brain, it always comes in the form of a thought. Now, I'm going to tell you something that I found really interesting. Did you know that every single day from now through all of 2023, you will have over 75,000 thoughts cross your mind every single day? 75,000. Now, I want us to think about that in terms of from the moment we wake up to the time we go to bed, we have something crossing our mind. Good ones, bad ones, crazy ones, stuff that you dismiss, right? But the point is that you are having an experience of something internally from things that you've allowed yourself to be exposed to, whether it was through social media, your phone, watching the news, friends, family, work, whatever the case may be. You're going to have 75,000 thoughts a day. Here's the crazy part. 80% of them, this is what's interesting. 80% of the 75,000 thoughts that you have are things that are probably going to dictate how you go about your day. 80% of them are going to do something that are going to create what they call triggers in your head. Now, those triggers are what? What are triggers? Triggers are really simple to understand. A trigger is emotions, right? Triggers are feelings, okay? So what's going to happen is inside of your head, you're going to have a thought, okay? When you have that thought, however you choose to water that thought this year is totally up to you. But I'm going to tell you right now, because you're going to have 75,000 of them, it's really important that you learn to get really selective in the way you think. Because what's going to happen is those thoughts are going to turn into something. And those thoughts are going to create triggers. How do we know that our thoughts create triggers? Because many people say that they're scared, they're afraid, they're happy, they're sad, they're nervous. All of us say these words, and guess what? You can physically feel the thing, right? When you're on a roller coaster and you keep hearing that tick, 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 tick. And what's happening? Your nervous system is picking up. You're starting to sweat a little bit. Your heart is racing. Why? Because you know there's about to be a ridiculous drop and you're going to scream and yell and all that. But no one has to tell you about what a feeling is, because you're going to experience them every single day, right? Some of you have children that are like mine that are getting ready to go off to college, right? So those college acceptance letters are coming in, and the nervousness of I'm rushing to the mailbox to see if that, our kid got into wherever. The whole point is feelings and emotions come from something we got going on in our thought life. And every day they create an action. Every single day, they create an action. Every day, all day, in fact. So look at this progress, because this is really important. Because if you really want to understand, the 5 things that are going to make you successful this year with your side business, you have to start where the real power is. The real power is in our head. How do I know this? Okay. This is an iPhone. Famous words of Steve Jobs when he first announced it on stage, right? The iPhone did not exist since the beginning of time, right? I just want to make sure, like, either I'm missing it or no, the iPhone did not exist since the beginning of time. But somebody had an idea to create a device that was not a cord device, but wireless, where I could talk to you, you could talk to me, and we could be miles apart, even an entire day apart, and we could be talking in real time over this, rectangular thing. They called it a phone. And then it just kept progressing. But that was a thought. Somebody had the idea, what if I could take, because my first version, I don't know if y'all remember, but my first version of long distance was when my mama went to the corner store and finally bought the newest piece of technology with our old yellow phone that had the big buttons on it. And the first piece of technology that came with that was the fact that they had this 60-foot cord that you could plug into a wall. And my mama used that version of long distance everywhere. Y'all remember that version of long distance? 30, 40, 50 feet of a cord that you could plug into your home cord phone. And I mean, my mama checked the mail with it, went to the car with it, sat on the back porch with it, went to the kitchen with it, went to her room with it. I mean, she was able to go everywhere in the house with a cord phone. And now they've detached the cords. It's all in space and satellites and everything else. But my point is, all of that was somebody's thought. Satellites was an idea from somebody. YouTube was an idea of somebody. So when we understand where the real power is, it's in our thought life. So your brain has 75,000 a day of these things happening that trigger some emotions and some feelings, and it tends to cause us to take an action or not. We got to talk about the or not, because truthfully speaking, sometimes some people are not doing anything because they are allowing their thoughts to dictate where their feet go, which is typically nowhere. See, it's really easy to talk about all the wonderful things that happen when you achieve this and achieve that and achieve that. But can we just be honest? Sometimes that's difficult, because sometimes our fear of looking stupid, being afraid, not knowing, being judged, all of those things are thoughts too. They come along with the package of having a great thought. If you think Steve Jobs and other people who created crazy ideas just out of a thought life and turned them into something, if you think they didn't have fear, doubt, insecurity, and emotions and ideas and negative thought beliefs that didn't attach themselves to all of the great things that they created, I'm here to tell you right now, all of them had crazy negative emotions, but they didn't let those things stop them from moving forward on their great idea. Positivity can outweigh negativity. It's just whether or not you choose to take some massive action on it. That's why you're here today, right? So our brains come up with all of these thoughts, 75,000 a day to be exact. They create triggers in our body, emotions, feelings, which also cause us to go take an action. So that means that this is a repetitive cycle, by the way. This is something that just keeps happening all day, every day. It never fails. It happens all the time. As you wake up and when you go to bed, it's going to be there all the time. So what are the 5 ways and 5 things that successful people are doing every single day in order to be able to ensure that they are in control, that they are using this real power to build a successful side business, to have a healthy family, to really be able to include real financial freedom in their lives? What are they doing? Well, let's talk about that for a second, because these things are really important to your real power. The very first thing that these habits that they are leveraging is, the very first thing that they're doing is that they are always in the business of learning. I don't know a single person that I've talked to who has the ounce of success, whatever their version of success is, who hasn't had to spend a crazy amount of time like actually just learning something. I'm talking about just learning. That's all they spend their time doing is just learning. They learn about the thing, around the thing, the industry that thing is in. If you've got a side business, part of your journey is learning about it, about the product or service, but also learning about the industry, learning about the pros and cons, learning about what the forces are that push against that industry, that push against that product or service, learn about the right ways to do it, the wrong ways to do it, what marketing is, what sales is, understanding how to actually connect with the right person who really buys that product and actually uses it. That's all learning though. And by the way, it never stops. So that's the first one. Here's the second one that they leverage that's pretty important. They're always asking how. I have found that one of the biggest changes that I had to do was stop allowing myself to tell myself that I can't do something. Because it's really easy to say things to yourself like, I can't be Chris Williams. I can't be whoever it is I follow on social media. Or I can't be them. Well, I would if I had. We say all of these limiting statements and we never stop. Like, you got to put an emergency brake on those thoughts that just keep rolling through. And you got to start saying, wait a second. Rich people and people who find a lot of success are always saying, how can I? How do I? What has to happen for it to be true? What things are needed to make it so? See, they're not looking at the limitations they have. They're saying, what would have to happen to make this a reality? Steve Jobs had a great idea with Apple as the Macintosh was rolling through and people were finding success with this desktop. And his thought was, I wonder if I can make an entertainment device as well as a device that creates connection where people can continue to talk. Maybe we can actually push this World Wide Web thing to a mobile device. That was a thought that he had. And instead of saying, well, here's why we can't, why it won't work, he was like, what would have to be true for this to be our new reality? And he did so. Number 3, after they continue to ask how, you know what is crazy? By asking those how questions, it allows them to identify opportunities. Because now I am choosing to use my real power in a direction that will cause things to come my way. Do you know that people follow negative people with all of the wonderful energy, resources, effort, time that they have of their day, just as much as they will follow a positive person and somebody with some vision who's trying to go somewhere in life and who wants to make a difference and an impact? You know something I'm starting to figure out? I realize that part of the hiring process or finding really good talent or working with people is how well can you communicate a vision that they can see themselves in? How well can you do that? Are you good at you so focused on the goal and the idea that you say, you know what? I know I need help and I know I need somebody else help me make this happen. So let me go start talking to the world. Let me go tell somebody else and identify those opportunities. Once they start doing that, here's what happens. That integration of people and processes and systems and new ways of thinking, you know what's cool? This is what starts to happen. They start to process things differently now. Because what's happening now is I am allowing all of my energy that I normally would spend in limiting beliefs, I actually spend it finding new opportunities. When I talk to this person about here's what I'm trying to do, they put me in touch with that person, which now starts to expand my network. And this person hears about my vision and this person sees it. Now those people want to work with me. And now one person with an idea and a thought that was really, really cool turned into 5 people who are now making something happen. Right? They start to process differently. And here's the 5th thing. This is what I am trying to master in my own life personally, is that they handle money differently. Because now They see money as opportunity. Because I've heard it said, and it's really important, and it's something that I think we should all think about in 2023, is how do you actually look at the purpose of money? How do you see it? Do you see money as just need some money to pay my bills? I just need money to make sure I'm taken care of week to week? I'm just all right with living paycheck to paycheck? Maybe you're saying, yo, you know what? I just need money to stay above water. Just as long as all of my bills are covered, I'm good. I don't need no more. Are you saying I don't need a lot? You know, it's interesting. The more rich people I talk to, you know what I hear them say often about money? They say, no, I use money to be able to create more opportunities to go make more money. I use money to be able to create opportunities that allow me to be able to express myself fully as a human being and use all of my creativity as much as possible in this human existence life to the fullest creativity, with all the fullest creativity that I have. The reason why many people lack ingenuity and ideas and creativity is because what they haven't done is started to see money differently and what's possible. Now, a couple of weeks ago, you can go check out the video. I talked about the fact that the reason why sometimes it's easy to push people away when they start talking about money is because what we've done is we've already accepted in our lives. We're fighting more for the limiting belief about money than we are about breaking past it and actually going to do something. So some people say, oh, you don't need that much money. You should be feeding the poor. You should be doing this. Well, I know why some people are actually frustrated right now in their own life. Because some people are frustrated not because they don't want to go serve and give millions of dollars to their church or go serve overseas or build that school or whatever. It's because they don't have the money to go do it. But if you keep talking to yourself with limiting beliefs about why you can't go do something and what somebody else should do with their money, you're not actually contributing to the opportunities that exist right in front of you right now. And it's mainly because we don't see money as an opportunity. Some of us just see it to pay bills. Some of us just see it to just getting by. Long as I have enough, I'm good. Well, why don't we start raising the level in which we talk about money and start looking at it as that's the reason why there's a lot of rich people who actually are happy. Despite what you see on TV and the extreme cases of what they show on TV all the time, there's actually a lot of people who actually are happy. Why? Because now they can do things on their terms, and the moment they have a thought about an idea, they can invest in it. They don't have to wait 3 and 4 and 5 years. They can just go do it now. That's the freedom of building your side business this year. See, most rich people see money as an opportunity. Poor people see money to just earn it. I just need to earn enough money. I just need to earn enough money to pay for my house. I just need to earn enough money for this. I just need to earn enough money for that. No, money should be an opportunity. Because here's the real question. What would your life be like if you were actually living on the terms and conditions that you set, and every time you had a great idea for something that you wanted to create in the world and create a real impact, you had the money to just go and start? I think that's a great way to live, and it's definitely worth striving for. Okay? So these are the 5 habits that you need to create, because I'm telling y'all right now, this is where the real power is. This right here is this is why you will solve all the problems that your side business creates. This is why you will push past laziness, inability to keep moving forward. This right here, when you tweak and push through this and you become more aware of this thing, those habits can now start to take root. So listen, I'm going to invite you this year on a journey with us in the Side Business Builders community, where we are going to be working together to build the lives and the businesses that are good for us. Everybody has their own thing, and I want you to have whatever your own thing is. But you also know that even if you're making over $100,000 a year, that's not really the real security that you're looking for, because we all know the next 18 to 24 months could be kind of crazy. And it's very well possible that some of us might even still be facing some layoffs. That's why I built the Side Hustle Secrets course, so that you can start to understand and start to actually build out a profitable side business. That's why we have this community. And I want you to be involved, be engaged, join our Facebook group, connect with me, get the Side Hustle Secrets course. Come learn as we build. I mentioned to you at the top of the year, listen, we have something new that's coming to our community. It's going to be incredible. And it's called the Side Business Vault. And if you want access to that, the link is below. Get on the wait list. It's going to be incredible. We're going to literally be building things as a community together. Tools, strategies, real game from people inside of our group. We already got 400 people in our group. Why aren't you there? Like, why not? You should be there, because as we start building out this stuff inside of our vault, it's only going to be for the community members. And those of you who aren't part of the community yet, come get in. Come join this group, because we are going to do some things in 2023 that haven't been done yet. Because I am tired of the conversation and the narrative of being an employee, and you should devote all of your attention and identity to being a rung on the ladder of corporate run-up, when you already know there's only but so many roles and people at the top. And you shouldn't be treated terrible because you want to be able to earn and maximize your earning potential while you're alive. You have children to take care of. You have a family. You have a legacy. Never feel guilty about that. Over here on this side, in the Side Business Builders community, we love it. We're trying to push everybody to their maximum potential, and we're going to all do it together. So listen, thank you guys so much for watching the first installment of this year of Massive Action Monday. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure that as you are building your business, tell us your stories. What are you learning? We want to know that stuff. All right. And so stay tuned, stay locked in, because we got a lot more coming. But thank you. Remember where your real power is, y'all. Remember where your real power is. And leverage these 5 ways to be able to truly build a profitable side business this year. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I cannot wait to talk to you very, very soon. Take care. Go take some massive action, y'all. See y'all soon.